Ryan McPherson says, what Yens think of RG3 going at 7 for 7 saying teams don't fear Lamar as a passer, and RG3 saying that Lamar's passer rating is better than 7's. Is this for real?
God.
This for real?
I did see a quote from 7 saying that teams don't fear Lamar in the pocket.
Okay.
I didn't see the RG3 rebuttal, though. I'm going to go off his word that that's probably what he did. He went back at Ben and
said his pass rate, is it accurate? Is his pass rate better?
I have no clue. I don't know if I care that much.
Yeah, I was like,
because
what are we doing, man?
I don't think 7's really lying.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, Lamar has improved his passing since he was a rookie in his second year, but up to this point, again, he hasn't thrown for over 3,200 yards. I think his biggest threat is doing the read options and running the ball.
Yeah.
Now, he's improved passing, but these last 2 years, as I've been seeing his improvement in passing, he's also gotten hurt. So I haven't been able to see him put it completely all together.
Yeah, to me, man, I looked at it like this. What 7 said is not accurate by no stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, it can be accurate or it can be inaccurate. It just depends on how you are looking at it. But I think for RG3, he is coming to the defense of Lamar because he looks at it as this is somebody taking a shot at Lamar. But I don't think that 7 is taking a shot. I don't know the context that 7 was speaking on, but to me,
I think it was
7,
just on his podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Like 7 has no need to shoot at a Lamar. You see what I mean? So to me, I think it's just a fair assessment that, he didn't think from a pure passing standpoint that teams would fear Lamar in that vein because they don't. But to act as if he's not feared when he's in the pocket is actually a lie, because tell me what teams you see playing man-to-man against Lamar. They don't. They play zone because when he's in that pocket, if you turn your back on him, he's going to take off. Those are some of the things that Lamar does to you and handicaps you that doesn't get talked about from a pocket passer, like positive standpoint, but that is just as effective. And that's one of the things I think for RG3, he's trying to push that point. But you got to also think who RG3 talks to every day on NFL Network or ESPN and stuff like that. He's talking to people on the national scale that get paid to attack that part and bring up certain things as a negative. So he's going to be hypersensitive to any comment that's coming out that isn't 100% clearly in favor for Lamar. But yeah, I just think that it's context in both of these. You know what I mean? I think 7 can definitely be accurate with his assessment, but it can still have some other parts to it where, you do fear Lamar when he's out there in the pocket or out that pocket because of that type of dynamic, that type of skill.
If it was said recently, which I assume it was, it was probably in reaction to the Ravens getting Odell.
Right.
So I think Ben's in a way saying what I've been saying is like, I'll believe it when I see it that you're going to target Odell like 10 times a game and have Lamar throw it 40, 50 times because you have not done that with Lamar as a Ravens offense up to this point.
Yeah.
And
that
to be honest with you,
away from Lamar's talent or anything.
No, to be honest with you, I would
facts.
like to see you guys do that because right now what we know from Lamar is his running ability scares the defense. Like you said, even if he does drop back, the improvisation is the thing that could screw you up.
The most. Yeah. And we know he doesn't read it right away. We've seen he doesn't read it right away.
I was going to say, if you mean to tell me you want to start having Lamar drop back and throw 40, 50 times, okay, let's see him have success with it. Because at this point, we haven't seen that yet.
And that takes away one of his greatest assets. And it's one of the things where it's kind of like, why do you need to do that? You know? But that's why I also feel like going back to the whole RG3 kind of coming to this like defense to Lamar and attacking 7, so to speak. It's like everything you just said, that's still a positive. But it's all about the context or the I guess narrative you're trying to push with it. Some people would take that and understand like, yo, that's still a legit positive if you're talking about, we don't need him to throw it 40 times a game. He hasn't done it, but his best times have been when he wasn't doing that. So why do we just want you to go out here and do that all of a sudden? You can spin it as a positive. You can also spin it as a negative, like you said at the same time. Because we haven't seen you do that, why should we fear that just yet? And that's one of the things we talk about with young teams. They don't know what they should fear. So until you show us that you can be a MVP caliber thrower, not MVP caliber just player, athlete, MVP caliber thrower. If you show that, then it'd be a different conversation. People will fear just the passing part. But right now they fear you as a player because you're a weapon. And as you saw, ain't nothing wrong with being a weapon because you win a ton of games. You get your personal accolades as well as a ton of money that's coming to them.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to stay healthy these last 2 years to complete a season,
Right?
To see some of the improvement, because I have seen improvements
seen
in his
glimpses
passing
of it, yeah.
in the pocket, but yeah, he hasn't been able to put it together these last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like if you were to tell the Steelers defense, hey, Lamar's not really going to focus on running this upcoming
We're
game.
going to be so happy.
Tomlin would be ecstatic.
Like,
oh,
great.
thanks.
Thank you. You taking it. You make it easier on us. You're taking us off the hook. Now we're gonna play all the coverages we want. Let's get really exotic back here. But that's the Lamar X factor. It's the legs part. It's no different than the Josh Allen X factor. It's no different than the Patrick Mahomes, the Joe Burrow, the Justin Herberts. All of them have that. They're just further along from a passing standpoint, and they set up their runs off of the pass. Whereas Lamar, he's doing it in opposite. He sets up his throws off of his legs. People have to respect that part, so it makes you play certain coverages, what makes it a little bit simpler for him.
And then what he say? RG3 brings up the QB
passer
rating.
rate.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's like
just don't do that. Please don't.
Yeah.
Spend 2 rank. It's like bringing up, I don't know, Derek Carr's QB rating and comparing it to John Elway. Like, come on.
True,
Don't
but
do
at the
that.
same time, you know
Don't
what
do
people
that.
are going to say in response to the 2 rings. Those are team statistics versus individual statistics. Lamar has an MVP. That's the rebuttal to the team part versus the individual part. But we're not going to debate. 7's a far way and ahead better quarterback. Lamar is exciting. Lamar has an MVP, cool, but Lamar hasn't done it to 7's level just yet. You know what I mean? He got a long way to go. But in terms of like when people make the case for Lamar, that's the argument they're going to make, and they're going to stand on that until the cows come home. And we know that.
Yeah, not sure what
Yeah.
RG3 is trying to say there, because you're right. It's
You know what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
it's not
Like,
even debate.
yeah.
It's not even debate. Like,
Like, what we
why
talking about,
are you
man?
even trying to put Lamar in that
You see what I
stratosphere?
mean?
No.
Like, what are we talking about, bruh?
Man, I was doing good on this Friday, Junior. I was doing fine. Ryan
You see that
McPherson.
movie? I'm trying to talk it down to him. Like, yo, just chill. We ain't gotta go
Ryan
there.
McPherson got me heated.
We ain't gotta go there, baby. We ain't gotta go there. Woo-sa. Woo-sa. But yeah. And I think he also got a little bit of that Baltimore in him. He didn't have him. How many seasons was RG3 over there in Baltimore, man? He didn't drink the Kool-Aid over there. He wrote a book against the Commanders or the Redskins or whatever their name was at the time. You know, he wrote a book against them. So I do think he identifies as Baltimore.
Who?
RG3. So I feel like that's part of it as well. Like, oh, he said it? Well, I'm definitely going to say this. Let me get real crazy with it now. Man.
Yeah, it's just
It's
not,
like,
a,
bro, what
it's
we-
just not a
like,
good
what are
case
we
that
talking about,
RG3
bro?
is bringing up.
Like,
It's just
what
not a
are we
good case.
talking about?
Not a good case at all.
I would have much rather he simply say, yo, Lamar has MVP. Not the passer rate. Like, don't do that because that is not, no, that we're not going there with this thing, man.